First story is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my brother and sister-in-law to find alternate childcare? My 41 female, brother 39 male, and sister-in-law have 2 kids, 7-year-old and 5-year-old, while my husband and I are child-free by choice. I have no issues with kids. I just didn't want my own, and my husband and I enjoy a life where we're the fun aunt and uncle rather than parents. My husband and I have zero issue with taking my niece and nephew for a night or two to give my brother and sister-in-law a break, but we enjoy our peace and quiet, so we try not to do this all the time. My brother has had cutbacks at his company, so my sister-in-law started working part-time to help with some of the bills. My niece and nephew are going to school online for obvious reasons, so they need help with childcare. My brother asked if I would be willing to watch them during the day since my husband and I both work from home, and we agreed with the promise that it would be temporary until they could find other childcare arrangements. That was 4 months ago. I have a massive trial coming up and have been working between 7 to 80 hours per week to prepare. I spoke with my brother and sister-in-law multiple times and informed them that I cannot continue overseeing my niece and nephew's schooling and working, and they really need to find someone else to watch them because it is just too much for me to handle at the moment. It came to a head yesterday when I had an important client meeting and my niece and nephew started arguing over a TV remote. My husband was in a work call and could not take care of it, so I had to get up in the middle of a meeting to handle it. When my sister-in-law came to pick them up, I informed her that they have 2 weeks to find childcare because I cannot watch them anymore. I told her that it was affecting my job performance and it was not fair for them to put me in this position. My sister-in-law called me selfish and said I was uncaring. My brother called me and told me that I have no compassion for what they're going through and that it needs my help. I told him that if it was financial, I am more than willing to chip in for a nanny or a pair to watch them during the day for their schooling. But that just made him angrier. He accused me of flaunting my wealth. Now my sister-in-law put in her 2 weeks' notice at her job, and my brother is blaming me and saying it's my fault if they end up homeless. Am I the a-hole for telling them they need to find new childcare? Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. You are under no obligation to care for their child given how busy you are, and they are so rude that even when offered to pay for a nanny that was flaunting your wealth. Not the a-hole under no obligation to care for their children. It does not matter if you are busy or not. They are not your obligation. This infuriates me. Anyone who has had kids school at home while they try to work knows how impossible it is. This is an enormous favor you've done for them. And while you're trying to work 80-hour weeks and taking client meetings for 4 months. Wow. For them to blame you for anything is outrageously entitled and unappreciative. People seem to not understand the work part of work from home. They think people have time that they just don't have. In the end, work and kids suffer because neither get the attention they deserve. Not the a-hole. Your brother and sister-in-law, however, are the a-holes. They sound like a bunch of freeloaders. And sister-in-law quit her work instead of finding someone else. Overdramatic. Feel sorry for the kids. Yeah, it sounds like she cut off her nose to spite her face. Like she's trying to prove to Opie that she is responsible for this. Opie's definitely not responsible, of course. Not the a-hole. Them telling you are selfish for not taking care of their children is laughable. And their projection of their issues on other things should not be your concern. Your own well-being and future are top priority. And I'd say stick with your decision. You did the right thing. Props for giving them a 2 weeks notice for that matter. Now for the next story. Am I the a-hole for no longer allowing my sister to work in my daycare after what she did? Hi, I'm a 32-year-old widow. Have been for 3 years. I struggled a lot financially. I didn't get help from my family because they claim they can't. So I decided to start a home daycare. It's been open for 7 months now. My friend was able to get me more clients via Facebook. Thank goodness my business is growing. And I've made quite a lot of friends who are moms, and also established good reputation since my daycare has been recommended. My sister, 26, is unemployed. Didn't find a job yet, and had rent to pay for her and her boyfriend. My parents suggested I let her come work with me at my daycare, and accepted since she has experience in the past. I agreed to let her come and earn her living. She got along with the other workers and things were going fine. Until she came to me asking about a specific child that comes to our daycare. He's 4, very well behaved for his age. I was confused after she complained about him. She said she saw his dad come over to pick him up and didn't feel comfortable when she saw him because he's a police officer, and she had an unpleasant incident with the police because of something her boyfriend did that she needed therapy for and struggled a lot from. She wanted me to let the child go and tell the parent to look for another daycare. He usually arrives at 3 p.m. to pick the kid up. From what I understand, his wife is sick. I refused. I have no good reason to let the child go. My sister refused to drop it and started being mean to the dad. It was unprofessional of her. I told her she either be respectful or I won't have her work with me anymore. 2 days ago, she sent an email to the dad telling him we won't be welcoming his kid at the daycare anymore. He came to talk to me, and I was livid when I saw the email. He asked why and talked about his kid wanting to stay because he's friends with other kids. Talked about not being able to find a daycare closer than ours. I lashed out at my sister, and I told her she's no longer able to work at the daycare because of her behavior. We got into an argument, and she left after saying I was being unsupportive and inconsiderate. My parents called me saying I shouldn't have kicked my sister out, and now causing her to lose her apartment. They argued I have no regard for my sister's trauma, and I should have let the child go and support her because she's my sister. Everyone shamed me and claimed I had messed up priorities. I felt I was in the wrong for letting her struggle now without a job, but I have no reason to let go of the child as well. He wears a uniform. My aunt suggested that I ask him to get someone else to come and pick up his kid, or at least I'll let her leave before 3 p.m. and arrive a bit late in the morning, but others would notice the difference in treatment at the daycare. I understand that there are parents struggling and I do all I can to help out and be supportive. Yes, she's my younger sister, but treating people like that was unprofessional of her. One thing to clarify, my sister's boyfriend is in no contact with my family due to issues. However, they said they want to support my sister and be in contact with her and support her, although they don't have a relationship with her boyfriend. That's why they keep pressuring me to help and support her. Not the a-hole. You could have lost the whole business because of what she did, and you gave her plenty of warning. Even if she needed therapy, she was still being beyond unreasonable. She could have excused herself for a break at the time the cop came to come to his kid, and she'd have never needed to see him. But instead, she went behind your back and went against your explicit instructions. She got exactly what she deserves. The fact that she had the nerve to send an email as if she had any authority. She is not an owner or partner, and she way overstepped her position. If any other employee pulled this stunt, they would have been fired too. She is not exempt just because she's your sister. From someone who strongly believes in police abolition, you are not the a-hole. While maybe your sister would not be the best person to interact directly with this particular dad, she's putting her own issues on a kid for what she believes, correctly or not, are the sins of the father. There is no reason for her to have anything against a child, or to want to set care on the basis of her feelings towards the father's profession. Right? I'm like, I wouldn't be best friends with the father, but holy hell is the sister whack. Not the a-hole. She unilaterally made a decision about your business. If this person wasn't your sister, there'd be no argument from anyone she should be fired. Unfortunately for your sister, this is the consequence of her actions. If you're this dependent on a job for your financial stability, you don't pull this stupid crap like this. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for causing my family to miss my brother's wedding? My wife and I just lost our second baby. Our first was a stillbirth. Our daughter lived for only a month due to a medical condition. We didn't get to take her home, but we have a few pictures of her before she passed away 3 weeks ago. It's difficult trying to get used to living like that, but we have no choice. My wife and I missed out on some family events, including my brother's wedding. Everyone was being considerate and gave us enough space to regain strength. I work long hours and night shifts while my wife stays at home. I was on shift the day of my brother's wedding. A few days ago, my mom and my sister were complaining about my brother's fiancé's no-child rule, and they wanted someone to watch the kids for a few hours. My sister suggested that we do that, but I told her I had work and my wife wasn't up to it. And I really thought that was the end of the discussion. On the day of the wedding, I left home for work at 3. I got a call from my wife at 5 telling me my cousin just came and dropped 6 kids from my family at our house and told her that he'd come back to pick them up later. I was freaking livid. I went home and I started calling my sister, cousin, and sister-in-law to come pick their kids right then. They kept stalling, but I demanded they tell my cousin to turn around and come pick the kids up. Instead, they started showing up one by one, taking their kids, cussing me out, claiming I was overreacting since my wife didn't say anything. My wife doesn't know how to say no, so it's on me to set boundaries, although it's hard with them calling me the problem. My parents said I caused the family to miss most of my brother's wedding by looking for someone else to watch the kids, and basically blamed me for refusing to take the kids for just a few hours, saying I don't understand because I don't have kids. I don't know how hard it is. That line cut too deep. I've already had 2 kids that I lost. Everyone's arguing with me for causing them this issue on the wedding, and said I ruined it instead of doing this one little favor. I sent a mass text telling them they can start blaming each other instead of us after I told them we couldn't watch the kids. Now they won't even want to see me. Was I the a-hole for what I did? Now for the top comments. Holy cow, not an a-hole. I don't understand how you would possibly think you are. You clearly told them no. They smashed your boundaries, refused to listen, and dumped their kids. When you rightfully insisted they come to get them, they started doubling down and throwing barbed statements. Your family's undoubtedly selfish, petty, and terrible. Don't feel bad for what you did. Just because they're blood doesn't mean they aren't capable of being awful. This, 1000% this, was typing a similar reply, but there's no need to. Also, I am so sorry for you and your wife's losses. Not an a-hole. You're still a father. Your children just aren't here with you on this plane of existence. Your family shouldn't rely on you to take their kids when you've said your wife isn't up to it, which is totally understandable all things considered, and you had been working. It was absolutely inappropriate of them to think you would even want to take their kids. As for your family, you are not a babysitting service. You are grieving the loss of a child, a hurt that will never truly go away. It is a pain they won't feel unless it happens to them, and a pin I know you wouldn't wish on them. They do not understand that things like this can be harmful to you and your very obviously grieving wife. They are the a-hole, not you or your wife. Thanks for responding, and you're right about what you said here. The lack of respect and consideration they have for me and my wife is awful. They have no regard for us and keep trying to blame me for what happened. Not an a-hole, but your family is effing full of them. My God. Sending my deepest condolences to you and your wife. Exactly not an a-hole. They ruined their wedding experience by not booking a babysitter for their kids when they knew you could not watch them. They have no one to blame but themselves for being idiotic. Now for the last story. Am I the a-hole for not going to family events because I never get a fair vote on what we do? I, 24 male, have 3 sisters. We always did what they wanted to do growing up. They were in the majority, but it never really bothered me. I would just stay home when they went out. I finally moved out about 2 years ago. COVID came and we haven't seen each other in a long time. They were all planning on meeting up when restrictions lightened up. We all threw ideas on what to do, but all my ideas were shut down. They finally agreed on a wine tasting restaurant. It's basically a place where you just taste wine. I don't like wine and tried to choose a different place. I was shut down because we all voted on it. I told them I'm not paying for something I don't want to do. I would skip this one, but I would go to the next family outing if we all agreed on it. They didn't take this lightly and started an argument about me being an a-hole for always skipping events and never going with the family. I tried to tell them to choose something we can all do and not something you guys want to do. At this point, I'm done talking about it. I just stopped responding to them about it. Now I'm having second thoughts on if I should just go. Am I the a-hole for almost never going to family events and skipping this one as well? Not the a-hole. It's like me getting upset my vegetarian mother doesn't want to join us to a barbecue restaurant where only the corn is meat-free. Imagine all the fun you'd have had, sitting there with a glass of water and watching your family drink and talk only about wine. How dare you not join them? Majority rules is fine if you're a child and not paying, but as an adult, you shouldn't have to pay to go do something you have absolutely no interest in doing. I don't drink, so I would never do this even if the point is to taste and spit it out. Gonna go with not at a-hole because they decided to berate you for simply not wanting to go and trying to use the but family excuse. Yep, majority rules just means the same person/group is left out every time. Maybe OP could suggest taking turns picking the outing? Also, majority rule sucks for kids too. It is mainly just an excuse to exclude and bully. Not at A-Hall. They specifically chose something you don't like, and then berated you because you don't want to pay money to do it. Seems really unfair. If I were you and you really want to see them but always get outvoted, maybe plan something you want to do and don't give them a choice. Just say, hey, I'd really like to spend some time together. I've planned a game night at my place on this day. Hope you can make it. If the date doesn't work for everyone, let's figure out a better day. If they argue about what you've planned, just say, that's fine, you don't have to come. I just wanted to plan something I like for a change, and I really wanted to see you. If they don't come, or they pitch a fit, then I'd stop trying. And that's the end of this video, folks. As always, leave a comment and hit like and subscribe. And if you want more of this content, turn your notification on to get updated on the latest videos. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe.